Hello, yes. This lesson is about variance. I've already had a bit of discussion with you in the previous lessons about how do we use the power of variance. In fact, this lesson should be named to power of variance, not just variance, because it really unlocks a lot of power if we have proper variants for every game. Because what that does is, if you use the power of variance, with one game you can actually end up creating four different games within the same design language, so to speak, or the same game structure. See, because what you need to here understand is that when we were speaking about the target audience, I'll just go back to a previous slide when I talked about the target audience. You know, in the target audience, you should know that that these are standard first to seventh kids, which means that Planet Spark caters to all these seven standards. While it does that, and we are creating these games very quickly for these kids, so it's important that we use the power of variance, because as I said, most of these topics are common even across these standards. What is different is that just the number of grades, or just number of digits. So it's very simple. I'm saying most of the time there is no worry on that front. So what you can always do is that use the same game structure for these various you know standards, with the same game and same things. All you need to do is change the number of digits sometimes, or maybe bring in a small change in the number of digits, and all of that. That gives you a power to create another variant. So with one game, then you can cater to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and multiple standards. So that's when the variants come into play. So use the concept of variance, and even in the input master file, which was the step one. In the input master file, we will try to give you all the variants that are there for that game. That's where I said, you'll get the variants from us in this. If you have suggestions from yourself on the variants, on how we can increase the number of variants for this game and cater to more number of students, more number of grades, then you're welcome to do that. But the point is, you should create variants for kids, and that's extremely important. So use the concept of variants. Variants are the sample games which can work for various other standards by minor changes. For example, two-digit numbers for grade 1, three-digit numbers for grade 2, four-digit numbers for grade 3, five and six-digit numbers for grade 4, and so on. Variant structure will be shared with you in the input master book. So it's very, very simple. When we were talking about comparison creators, you know in comparison creators, it is game which is about comparing two numbers. Now, whether these numbers are two digit, three digit, five digit, or six digit, how does it matter? You are using the same game to cater to all of these variants. So create multiple variants is what we need to do, and for every variant you can create a separate you will create a separate uh, PowerPoint presentation. A PowerPoint presentation will be separate for every variant. It's just you need to copy paste. So don't refer to our previous slides on this point, because when we created, we used to create the variants in the same file itself, but it created a lot of problem. So we then decided that we will create these variants separately. So all you need to do is first create the PowerPoint presentation for one variant, then copy paste it and change the number of digits in the next variant. That's it. So you need to create multiple PowerPoints for multiple variants. That is the important point that I wanted to bring about in this lesson. So variant structure will be shared with you in the input master book, but you need to create separate PowerPoint presentations for separate variants. All that it takes is for you to copy paste this PPT and change the number of digits. That's it. So don't take too much stress on saying I'm making multiple PowerPoint presentations. You are effectively making only one, but just copy pasting it and changing the number of digits. So that's all in this very small lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson, which is even smaller than this one. Okay, thank you.